लैंसेट में छपे ट्रायल के नतीजे में कहा गया है कि वैक्सीन का कोई साइड इफेक्ट सामने नहीं आया है और एंटीबॉडी और टी सेल इम्यून के प्रति रिस्पॉन्स दिखाया है। लेकिन शोधकर्ताओं ने आगाह किया है कि प्रोजेक्ट अपनी प्रारंभिक चरण में है। ये ट्रायल 18 से लेकर 55 साल के 1077 स्वस्थ लोगों पर हुआ है। ADZ 1222 नामक वैक्सीन ऑक्सफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी द्वारा एस्ट्राजेनेका कंपनी की मदद से विकसित किया जा रहा है। शोधकर्ताओं का मानना है कि सितंबर के अंत तक इस प्रायोगिक वैक्सीन की 10 लाख डोज को तैयार किया जा सकेगा। साथ ही इस वैक्सीन के साल के अंत तक मिल जाने की संभावना है। और विश्व स्वास्थ्य संगठन ने कोविड-19 के लिए बन रही वैक्सीन पर चल रहे शोध में हुई प्रगति का स्वागत किया है। संगठन के आपातकालीन कार्यक्रमों के प्रमुख मार्क रयान ने ब्रिटेन के वैज्ञानिकों को सफल ट्रायल के लिए बधाई दी है, लेकिन साथ ही उन्होंने कहा कि इस पर और काम करना बाकी है। उन्होंने कहा कि यह पहले दौर के ट्रायल का परिणाम है। हमें बड़े पैमाने पर वास्तविक दुनिया में इसका परीक्षण करना है। और कोरोना वायरस वैक्सीन पर ऑक्सफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी के इंसानों पर किए जा रहे पहले ट्रायल के नतीजे आ गए। वायरल वेक्टर से बनी कोरोना वायरस वैक्सीन दिए जाने पर वायरस के खिलाफ प्रतिरोधक क्षमता पाई गई है। साथ ही इसे सुरक्षित भी बताया गया है। इसके साथ ही अब इसे अगले चरण के ट्रायल के लिए भी ओके कर दिया गया है। इस बीच ब्राजील में भी कोरोना महामारी के खिलाफ जंग जारी है। सौ पौलो के गवर्नर जोआओ डोरिया ने कहा है कि चीन की सिनोवैक कंपनी द्वारा विकसित वैक्सीन का परीक्षण आज से शुरू कर दिया गया है और इस प्रक्रिया को 90 दिनों के अंदर खत्म कर लिया जाएगा। उन्होंने कहा कि अगर परीक्षण सफल होते हैं तो अगले साल की शुरुआत में इस वैक्सीन का उत्पादन शुरू किया जाएगा। सिनोवैक ने कुछ दिन पहले कहा था कि वो संभावित कोरोना वायरस वैक्सीन के ट्रायल के तीसरे चरण की ब्राजील में शुरुआत करेगी। ब्राजील में इस वक्त कोरोना वायरस से 21,18,000 से भी ज्यादा लोग संक्रमित हैं। इस बीच कोरोना महामारी के चलते बंद हुई वॉशिंगटन में नेशनल आर्ट गैलरी कल खुल गई। हालांकि संग्रहालय में आने वाले दर्शकों के लिए कुछ दिशा निर्देश तय किए गए हैं। उन्हें यहां आने के लिए पहले से अपॉइंटमेंट लेना होगा और इसके अलावा मास्क पहनना और सामाजिक दूरी बनाए रखना भी जरूरी है। लॉकडाउन के बाद सामान्य होती जिंदगी में इस मशहूर संग्रहालय में आने के लिए कई लोग बेहद उत्साहित दिखे। फिलहाल इस संग्रहालय में तय सीमा के तहत ही दर्शकों के आने की अनुमति है और इसका एक हिस्सा ही लोगों के लिए खोला गया है। रुक करते हैं कुछ और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय खबरों का। अमेरिका ने चीन पर म्यांमार की संप्रभुता को कमतर आंकने का आरोप लगाया है। यह आरोप चीन सीमा से सटे म्यांमार के कचिन प्रांत में चीन की कार्रवाइयों के बाद लगाया गया है। म्यांमार में अमेरिका के चार्ज डी अफेयर्स जॉर्ज एन सिबले ने एक आलेख में कहा कि कचिन प्रांत में चीन अनियमित केले के बागान को प्रोत्साहन देकर मत्स्य पालन के गैर सीमांकन और इसी तरह के अन्य कामों के जरिए म्यांमार की संप्रभुता से खेल रहा है। साथ ही उन्होंने कहा कि चीन ने खनन और वानिकी क्षेत्र में अनियमित निवेश और भ्रष्टाचार को बढ़ाने में मदद किया है। चीन के द्वारा बनाए जा रहे बुनियादी ढांचे और विशेष आर्थिक क्षेत्र से म्यांमार का कर्ज बढ़ता ही जा रहा है, जिसका फायदा चीन को हो रहा है। साथ ही उन्होंने म्यांमार से होने वाली मानव तस्करी में चीन का हाथ बताया। इसके साथ ही अमेरिकी राजनयिक ने चीन समर्थित लेटपाडोंग तांबे की खान से म्यांमार में गंभीर पर्यावरण संकट की भी बात कही। साथ ही उन्होंने चीन द्वारा चलाए जा रहे अरबों डॉलर के अवैध दवा व्यापार का भी जिक्र किया। म्यांमार स्थित चीनी दूतावास ने इन आरोपों का हालांकि खंडन किया और कहा कि बयान पड़ोसियों के साथ वैमनस्यता फैलाने का प्रयास है। खबर खेल के मैदान से। इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट काउंसिल ने इस साल ऑस्ट्रेलिया में अक्टूबर-नवंबर में आयोजित होने वाले T20 वर्ल्ड कप को स्थगित कर दिया है। कोरोना वायरस के कारण ये विश्व स्तरीय टूर्नामेंट रद्द कर दिया गया है। सोमवार को वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग के जरिए ICC की बोर्ड मीटिंग में टूर्नामेंट को स्थगित करने का फैसला लिया गया। इस प्रतियोगिता को ऑस्ट्रेलिया की मेजबानी में 18 अक्टूबर से 15 नवंबर के बीच आयोजित होना था। इस साल के T20 वर्ल्ड कप के आगे बढ़ने के बाद ICC ने अगले 2 वर्ल्ड कप की तारीखों का भी ऐलान कर दिया है। अब साल 2021 में अक्टूबर और नवंबर में 7वें T20 वर्ल्ड कप का आयोजन किया जाएगा, जिसका फाइनल 14 नवंबर को खेला जाएगा। इसके बाद साल 2022 में अक्टूबर और नवंबर के महीने में ही 8वें T20 वर्ल्ड कप का आयोजन होगा। इसका फाइनल 13 नवंबर को खेला जाएगा। फिर साल 2023 में अक्टूबर और नवंबर के ही महीने में वनडे वर्ल्ड कप का भी आयोजन किया जाएगा, जिसका फाइनल मुकाबला 26 नवंबर को खेला जाएगा। और इधर इंग्लैंड ने दूसरे टेस्ट मैच में वेस्टइंडीज को 113 रन से हरा दिया है। इसी के साथ इंग्लैंड ने 3 टेस्ट मैचों की सीरीज 1-1 से बराबर कर ली है। मैच के 5वें और अंतिम दिन इंग्लैंड के से जीत के लिए मिले 312 रन के जवाब में कैरेबियाई टीम अपनी दूसरी पारी में 198 रन बनाकर आउट हो गई। वेस्टइंडीज के लिए ब्रुक्स ने 62 और ब्लैकवुड ने 55 रन की पारी खेली। और इसके साथ हिंदी समाचारों के इस बुलेटिन में फिलहाल इतना ही, लेकिन डीडी न्यूज़ पर खबरों का सिलसिला लगातार जारी है। अनुमति दीजिए, नमस्कार।
महामारी के इस दौर में जब लोगों ने नहीं छोड़ी हिम्मत, दिखाया कुछ कर गुजरने का हौसला, बड़ी से बड़ी मुश्किल को बनाया आसान, ऐसे ही हौसले और जज्बे की कहानियां जो बन रही हैं प्रेरणा, बढ़ा रही हैं आत्मविश्वास। आप देख रहे हैं गुड न्यूज जज्बा इंडिया का।
हमारी आज की तेजस्विनी एक ऐसी महिला है जिन्होंने पुरुष प्रधान माने जाने वाले क्षेत्र में न केवल कदम रखा बल्कि अपनी क्षमता की धमक भी दर्ज करा। एक व्यवसायी के तौर पर क्या महिला या पुरुष होना कोई मायने रखता है?
जो महिलाएं अगर आगे बढ़ना चाहती है तो उन्होंने अपना खुद का जो स्ट्रेंथ है उसे बढ़ाना चाहिए, ना कि हमारी जो वीकनेसेस है उसके ऊपर फोकस करना चाहिए।
आप खुद अपने आप को किस तरह देखती हैं?
व्हाटएवर आई डू मैं फुल कमिटमेंट के तौर पे देखती हूँ, चाहे वो प्रोफेशनल लाइफ हो, चाहे वो पर्सनल लाइफ हो, चाहे वो फैमिली मैटर्स हो, चाहे माय ओन पर्सनल हेल्थ हो, पूरा कमिटमेंट लेके मैं चलती हूँ।
हिंदुस्तान एक ऐसा मुल्क है, अनेक प्रकार के लोग रहते हैं, बहुत से अलग अलग मजहब है, अलग अलग जाति है और अलग अलग हमारा पोशाक है, अलग अलग हमारी जबान है। ऐसा कोई मुल्क दुनिया में नहीं है
Good morning. Welcome to News for Hearing Impaired. I am Anil Thomas. With me, Sonu this morning. First up, the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacts with IBM CEO Arvind Krishna via video conferencing. PM says it's a great deal to invest in India when government is committed to ensuring that the technological shift towards work from home is smooth. IBM CEO briefs Prime Minister about the company's investment plans in India. Rajasthan High Court to continue hearing on Speaker's notice to Sachin Pilot and 18 other MLAs today. Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot and former State Congress President Sachin Pilot trade charges. BJP says Congress damaging party's reputation through baseless charges. Flood situation likely to worsen in Bihar, with Met Department predicting heavy rains for the next 2 days. Alert issued in 9 districts to be affected by water release from Gandak Barrage. While after a brief relief, flood situation worsens in Assam due to frequent showers since the past 48 hours. Iran denies dropping India from the Chabahar rail project, reassures India's active participation in the mega project. invites Indian ambassador to Iran to review the ongoing co-op on Chabahar Zahedan railway project. COVID-19 fatality rate in India continues to register a steady downfall, with 22,664 COVID patients recovering from COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. Over 7 lakh patients recovered from COVID-19 in India. England beat West Indies by over 1.1 crore 46 lakh COVID-19 cases reported globally. Death toll crosses 6 lakh 8,000. WHO says good news on vaccine front, but still long way to go. Reacts after first human trial of Oxford University COVID-19 vaccine candidate shows promising results. England beat West Indies by 113 runs in the second test at Old Trafford to draw level in the 3-match series. All-rounder Ben Stokes delivers crucial contribution with bat and ball to help hosts win the test on the final day. And ICC Men's T20 World Cup 2020 in Australia this year is postponed due to coronavirus, and it clears the deck for IPL this year. Next Men's T20 World Cup now scheduled in October-November 2021, with another in 2022. And now for the stories in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacted with IBM CEO Arvind Krishna via video conferencing on Monday. The Prime Minister congratulated Krishna on becoming the global head of IBM. Prime Minister Modi spoke about IBM's strong connect with India and its huge presence in the country, with over 1 lakh people working across 20 cities. Talking about the impact of COVID-19 on business culture, Prime Minister Modi appreciated the role played by IBM and India's Central Board of Secondary Education for the launch of an artificial intelligence curriculum in 200 schools. He said the government was working towards introducing students to the concepts such as artificial intelligence and machine learning at an early age. The Prime Minister said this was a great time to invest in India. He said the country was welcoming and supportive of the investment in the technology sector. While the world was witnessing a slowdown, foreign direct investment inflow into India was increasing. IBM CEO Arvind Krishna briefed the Prime Minister about the company's investment plans in India. Krishna expressed confidence in the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat, or self-reliant India. Moving next to Rajasthan, amidst the political crisis in the state, the Rajasthan High Court will continue hearing on the petition of former Deputy Chief Minister Sachin Pilot and 18 other rebel MLAs of Congress today. 19 rebel MLAs of Congress have filed a petition seeking dismissal of the disqualification notices served to them. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot once again attacked former State Congress President Sachin Pilot for deceiving the party. He said that Pilot had been plotting against the government for the last 6 months. On the other hand, Sachin Pilot said that baseless allegations are being labelled to tarnish his image. He and his supporters, MLAs, will continue the legal battle. Shifting to floods in Assam, as Assam witnessed frequent showers in the last 48 hours, no significant improvement could be seen in the overall flood scenario in the state. About 24 lakh people still remain affected in 24 districts, and 2,254 villages under 70 revenue circles, along with more than 1,09,000 hectares of cropland, are still submerged. However, one more person has lost his life on Monday that has led to the flood-induced fatality to reach 85. Adding this to the number of deaths due to landslide, the total number of fatalities due to floods and landslides are now 111 this season. The Brahmaputra in 5 districts along with other rivers Dhansiri, Jiabarali, Khopili, Beki, Khushiara in few more districts are flowing above the danger marks. Golpara district remains the one that has received the highest rainfall and is flood affected, that is about 4.6 lakh people being affected, followed by Barpeta, Morigaon and Dubri. Over 48,000 inmates are taking shelter in 276 relief camps presently. Assam Chief Minister Sarbanand Sonowal on Monday visited the flood affected areas in Barpeta district. In Bihar, the water levels of most rivers have started rising again due to heavy rainfall in the last 24 hours. The catchment areas of the rivers located in Nepal have received extensive rainfall, due to which 4,60,000 causes of water has been released from the Gandak barrage. This is likely to worsen the flood situation in the coming days. An alert has been issued in 9 districts that are going to be affected by the water release from the Gandak barrage. NDRF and SDRF teams have been deployed in the flood affected areas. Till now, over 3 lakh people across 9 districts of the state are affected due to floods. The water of Gandak river has entered Siswania village of East Champaran. About 50 families of this village are taking shelter on National Highway 28. In view of this, one lane of National Highway 28 near Dhumaria Ghat has been closed. Boat remains the only mode of communication in the flood ravaged areas. In many urban areas of the state, including Samastipur and Patna, people are wading through knee-deep water to heavy water logging. The Meteorological Department has predicted heavy rains in the northwest areas of the state for the next 2 days. Days after a report claimed that Iran has dropped India from the Chabahar rail project, Iran on Monday denied the report, blaming vested interests behind it and reassured India's active participation in the mega project. Iran's Deputy Minister of Transport and Railways Saeed Rasooli has said that vested interests were behind those reports. Earlier, the Iranian minister invited the Indian ambassador to Iran, Gadam Dharmendra, to review the ongoing co-op on Chabahar Zahedan railway project. Last week, the Ministry of External Affairs has said that despite the difficulties posed by the sanctions situation, there has been significant progress on the Chabahar port project. An Indian company has been operating the port since 2018 and has steadily scaled up the traffic at the port. Proactive measures are currently underway to increase the usage of Chabahar port both for Afghanistan and Central Asia. Well, sad news just coming in. Madhya Pradesh Governor Lalji Tandon breathed his last today, days after he was put on ventilator support in Lucknow's Medanta Hospital. 85-year-old BJP leader was getting treatment for liver and urine infection. His health condition worsened on July 16th, following which he was put on ventilator support. Doctors stated that his condition continued to deteriorate as lungs, kidneys and liver were not functioning properly. Uttar Pradesh Governor Anandiben Patel was given additional charge of the state following Tandon's illness. Well, Union Minister Smriti Zubin Irani has tweeted, and I quote, "I am pained to hear about the sad demise of Shri Lalji Tandon, a stalwart. Babuji helped pave the way for many youngsters, guiding us gently on our ideological journey. My condolences to Gopal Bhaiya and family. Om Shanti." The case fatality rate in the country continued to register a steady downfall. It has dropped to 2.46% as of now. India has one of the lowest case fatality rates in the world. More than 7 lakh persons have been cured of COVID-19 and discharged from hospitals till now. This has further expanded the difference between those who are active COVID patients and the recovered patients by 3,09,627. 22,664 COVID patients have recovered from COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. The recovery rate as of now stands at 62.62%. Medical attention has been provided to all the 3,90,459 active cases in hospitals and in home isolation. India is on the fast track mode to develop a COVID-19 vaccine. Speaking to the media, AIIMS Delhi Director Randeep Guleria said the process of conducting human trials for the indigenously developed Covaxin has begun at the Premier Medical Institute. He informed that after the registration procedure and blood sample tests of the health volunteers, the vaccine will be administered to 100 healthy individuals in the first phase. Dr. Guleria said that in the second phase, 750 people will be recruited between 12 and 65 years of age for the human trial. Terming development of an indigenous vaccine as a great achievement, he informed that India's mass production capacity of drugs and vaccines will also help in meeting the demands during its production stage. Human trials of Covaxin also began at the Redkar Hospital in Goa. State Chief Minister Pramod Sawant said that this is a testimony of India's immense potential in healthcare innovation. 10 volunteers from Goa would undertake the trial. Redkar Hospital, located in North Goa's Pernem Taluka, is among the 12 facilities that have been listed for human trials of Covaxin developed by Bharat Biotech International Limited. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will inaugurate the Air Force Commanders Conference. The theme of the conference is Indian Air Force in the next decade. The AFCC, which will conclude on the 24th of July, will be chaired by the Chief of the Air Staff, Air Chief Marshal R.K.S. Bhadoria. During the 3-day conference, the discussion would take stock of the current operational scenario and deployments. The plan of action for operational capacity enhancement of the Indian Air Force in the next decade will also be discussed. Meanwhile, in some good news, the first batch of 5 Indian Air Force Rafale is likely to arrive in India by the end of July. The aircraft will be inducted at the Air Force Station Ambala on July 29th, subject to weather. No media coverage is planned on arrival. The final induction ceremony will take place in the second half of August 20th, whereby the full media coverage would be planned. Indian Air Force aircrew and ground crew have undergone comprehensive training on the aircraft, including its highly advanced weapon system, and are fully operational now. Post-arrival, efforts will focus on operationalization of the aircraft at the earliest. Various states are taking tough measures to increase the recovery rate as well as to stop the spread of the pandemic. In Madhya Pradesh, government has decided to enforce lockdown for 2 days every week, including Sunday and another day as decided by the District Crisis Management Group. State government has also decided to extend the duration of night curfew in every district from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. All activities except essential services will be restricted during this period. All offices of the state and central governments will function with 30% to 50% capacity in all districts. Private offices and business establishments will also function with 30% to 50% of capacity. Meanwhile, Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan urged people to celebrate the upcoming festivals inside their homes. In Sikkim, a statewide lockdown began from 6 a.m. today till 6 a.m. on 27th of July in view of the recent surge in COVID-19 cases. All government offices, shops and commercial establishments, including markets and factories, will remain closed except those granted exemptions. Movement of people and vehicles involved in emergency and essential services and those required for supply of essential goods has been allowed. While educational training and coaching institutions in Sikkim will remain closed till 31st of August. While shops selling essential goods, ration and food items have been allowed to remain open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., medical shops can operate till 7 p.m. Night curfew will be imposed from 7:30 p.m. to 6 a.m. during the lockdown period. Time now to take a look at the global updates on COVID-19. The COVID-19 pandemic has claimed the lives of over 6,09,000 people worldwide, while over 1,46 lakh people across the globe have contracted the infection so far. US and Brazil remain the worst affected in terms of COVID-19 infections and fatalities. The US has so far recorded over 38,25,000 cases and over 1,40,000 deaths, while Brazil has crossed the 20 lakh mark and recorded over 21,18,000 infections and over 80,000 deaths. Talking of death toll worldwide, USA and Brazil are followed by United Kingdom with over 45,397 fatalities, further followed by Mexico, Italy and France. The first set of results from the early stage clinical trials of the Oxford University COVID-19 vaccine candidate shows the vaccine is safe and induces an immune reaction. According to trial results published in the Lancet Medical Journal, the vaccine did not prompt any serious side effects and helped the antibody and T-cell immune responses. However, the researchers cautioned the project was still at an early stage. The new trial induced 1,077 healthy adults aged between 18 to 55 years with no history of COVID-19. The vaccine, called AZD1222, was developed by Oxford University and licensed to AstraZeneca. The World Health Organization has welcomed the progress on research into vaccines to counter COVID-19. Head of WHO's emergency program, Mark Ryan, congratulated British scientists for the successful trial. He, however, said there was still much work to be done. He said that these phase 1 studies and we now need to move into larger scale real world trials. With more than 1,40,000 deaths, the infection graph continues to rise in 43 of the 50 US states. Most US states and local government have asked people to wear masks in public places to stop the spread of COVID-19. 39 states have issued orders in different forms requiring people to wear masks, while 11 states are still having disputes over the issue. Florida reported another 10,000 new COVID-19 cases on Monday. The 6th day in a row, the state has announced over 10,000 new infections. In Spain, residents and businesses in Catalonia are worried as the region battles a new surge of COVID-19 cases. Catalan Authority had on Sunday urged more than 96,000 people in 3 towns to stay at home except for essential journeys. The stay-home call stops short of imposing a mandatory lockdown, but is the strongest measure taken to returning people to home confinement since Spain emerged from a nationwide lockdown last month. New measures include a ban on meeting of over 10 people. Bars and restaurants must be allowed to open, but at 50% capacity inside. Spain, one of Europe's hardest hit countries, reported over 28,000 COVID-19 deaths so far. Brazil, meanwhile, registered 20,257 new confirmed cases of novel COVID-19 and the death toll rose above 80,000 on Monday. Total cases in Brazil, the world's second most affected country after the United States, have now risen to 21,18,646, while 632 newly recorded deaths brought the total number of fatalities in Brazil to 80,120 people. In Argentina, there was more movement on the normally bustling street of Buenos Aires on Monday after the capital eased nearly 4-month-old restrictions to stop the spread of COVID-19. In Buenos Aires, which has been under the tightest restrictions in the country since March 20th, shops, hair salons and some professional services reopened. Outdoor recreation activities will also be permitted. However, schools will remain closed while officials analyze options for the safe return of students. Argentina has confirmed nearly 1,27,000 cases and over 2,300 deaths due to COVID this year. On sports, a riveting contest finally came to an end with England levelling the Test series 1-1 after registering a commanding 113-run victory over the West Indies in the second Test at Old Trafford on Monday. Ben Stokes was at the centre stage, scoring a patient 176 in the first innings, belting an unbeaten 78 in the second, which helped England set West Indies a steep target of 312, with the host scoring 92 in 11 overs on the 5th morning. He then broke an important partnership with the wicket of Jermaine Blackwood and finished 2 wickets in the innings. Stuart Broad and Chris Wokes also played pivotal roles in England's victory, picking 5 wickets between them in the second innings, ensuring that England did not let the advantage slip. Dom Bess provided the finishing touches with 2 wickets as West Indies were bowled out for 198. The only concern for England was the sight of Ben Stokes pulling up mid-over late in the day, but he said there was no concerns over his availability for the third and final test beginning this Friday at the same ground. The International Cricket Council, that's ICC, confirmed that the ICC Men's T20 World Cup in Australia 2020 has been postponed due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Cricket's apex body had held multiple meetings in the last few months in order to ascertain the best possible outcome, but came to the conclusion in the latest one on Monday. The tournament was due to take place between 18th of November and 18th of October and 15th of November. The next Men's T20 World Cup is now scheduled to be held in October and November 2021, with the next one India playing host in 2022. The International Cricket Council has also announced that the 50-over Men's World Cup in 2023 in India will move from February-March to October-November. That's all we have time for in this edition of news. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.